2.5 minutes. They had a Pallavi, Pallavi 2, Pallavi 3, Anupallavi.
அவ்வளவு தூரம் எழுதியிருப்பாங்க பாட்டு. அப்புறம் வந்து
or I saw another trend. I got confused. ஒரு வார்த்தையை பிரேக் பண்ணி செகண்ட் ஹாஃப் எடுத்து முதல்ல பாடிட்டு என்னடா இவன் பாடிட்டு இருக்கான் ரொம்ப நேரமா, அப்புறம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஹாஃப் பாடுறான், அப்புறம் அந்த வேர்டை ஜாயின் பண்ணும். ஓ இதுக்குதான் சொல்றானா இவன். இதெல்லாம் இன்னைக்கு வந்து கவிதையா மாறிடுச்சு. Sad state. The lyrics have fallen down or degenerated so badly, so poorly is the right vocabulary there. But what happens is the attention span is dropping. That is the final crux that we try to bring. And we also do that.
watch at home.
But have you realized that we are watching movies like web series today? We started today, finish it in 1 week. Iniki oru 25 minutes, naalik oru 25 minutes. Romba nalla maybe oru 50 minutes max. Adukapram we'll turn it off. Because it's available. You can watch it but that is only the attention. And the latest update from Instagram says that if you want to advertise a video on Instagram, 10 seconds. Your attention span of your audience is not more than 10 seconds. Tell whatever you want in 10 seconds, reaching the audience. At 10 seconds, attention span. It's not a joke. And I was reading an article this morning, which was very interesting. A professor at University of Sun City has been doing a research for a decade, and his results are coming out. Using screen time, how is it affecting them? And what he has found out in his research is very startling. The white matter in our brain is reducing when screen time is increasing. Now, what happens if white matter reduces? Cognitive skills are down, your language skills are down, your reasoning skills are coming down, patience is dropping, attention span is dropping. As a list very startling, which is what is you're seeing as degeneration in the market today. The market is driving at a pace. 10 second odu kudi. But is it affecting people? They are not bothered. I have to sell my product. I have to do these things. At Alchemy, we slow down. We say this is not the way we work. So 2 hours when children sat down here, initially some of them had that restlessness. I finished. They're turning this way, that way. Slowly they settle down. And we have a heterogeneous crowd who always performs. You'll have one from the youth theatre, one from grade 3 senior, one from advanced level. One kutti grade 1 junior will walk out. It's a mixed bunch because we believe in cross division learning, cross batches learning. When they watch, they learn. Observation is a great teacher. It's a great skill. We saw them slowly settling down, watching, discussing about performances, then getting a bit distracted, again settling back because no device in hand. Place is dark because they're practicing with the lights. So it's dark, so the focus is completely there, their mind slowed down. For 40 minutes, they were all calm. They're all happy. Because they can get up, go to the restroom, they can drink water, they want to eat something, they step out there, open their box, eat something, come back and sit down, but they are watching. Slowing down is what is very important because it helps them reflect. And the result of that, I guess yesterday we finished the 5th show of solo. Today we are on to the 6th show. 5 shows rocking performances from children. Rocking performances. There were children who forgot a line or 2. The beauty was they forgot. They stood there for a second, recollected the line. They started. Needs a lot of guts to do that. When you come and stand, it's not easy. Even adults we see they freeze on stage and you forget gone because what will others think of me? How has it happened? This happened, all that. No worry here. I forgot. Stood there for a second. Rather, for one of the child, I was there in the console, so she was holding for over 30 seconds. Then I said, it's okay, you relax. You will remember, you do it. 2 more seconds, she started. Yesterday, we had one child who forgot a line. The parent from there prompted the line in between. The child just picked up and went off. She did very well. The skill of improvisation, the skill of handling such crises, what is more important than just performing? Because this is what we say, the life skill that we are building in children. This is the life skill. This is what is making who they are, not those 10 lines. Those 10 lines or 20 lines, delivering it, modulation, expression is not the skill. That is the performance. The process is very important, which is why we say rehearsals are very important. I have voiced in every meeting of mine over the last 24 years, telling parents, it is not what they do on stage is not what excites me. It is the process that takes them there. That is what excites. And I want to thank you all wholeheartedly on behalf of the entire team of Alchemy for trusting the process and the philosophy of Alchemy. And what we do here, we do it with a lot of scientific data. There's a lot of scientific data, the way we work, the way we function, why rehearsals are for that span of time, why children are asked to sit, why they are asked to do. There is a proper procedure behind it, which is what I'm sharing some of them with you. So thank you so much for your support and cooperation. We have a line of performers today, all excited to come in. It's a bit delayed start. We are delayed by half an hour, but we will get started immediately. We have some lovely young anchors. We have Ridhima on sound and light today from the Alchemy Youth Theatre. Thank you, Ridhima. This is the process at Alchemy. We keep having children from the youth theatre and advanced level writing the scripts, handling sound and light, handling the event for us. They would have been children a few years back when their akkas and annas were handling it. Today they have become akkas and annas and they are beginning to handle. So the cycle continues and moves forward. Now, a couple of small instructions before we get started. The camera is recording with good sound, good quality, and there's a good photographer who's taking pictures. So parents can be relaxed and rest assured. Please do not come in between the way of the child and the performance or the recording, because that moment of will get robbed away from the child. And it's a good memory for both parents and children to have a good quality video and photo. Today, sorry, there is a little extra wire that is running till here because of an issue. The camera has changed today and there is an issue. So we put an extra mic to capture that sound. You can only move when the lights are down, when it is dark, so that, if you want to just relax and come back for a second or two, you can do that. Please do not walk when the lights are on, because either the anchor or the performer is here. And second, today, because there's an additional cable, just be very careful. You might trip on the cable and pull the mic away. Then we'll have to again hold for 10 minutes till it is reconnected. So request your kind cooperation. This is an immersive performing space. Immersive performing spaces have an advantage where performance is up and close. It's like you are part of the performance. The disadvantage is it's a smaller space, so certain restrictions we'll have to follow. Okay? So thank you all so much. Yeah, one more thing. All your chillakuttis have to be put on silent mode. Okay, if possible, on switch off mode, because you've got to enjoy the performances. Children have worked very well. Even that sound will get captured in the camera. So definitely silent mode. If possible, if you have the bandwidth to put it on switched off mode, then you're gifted in life. So you can go ahead with that. Thank you so much. Let's all have a great evening of performance. Thank you.
Hello, parents, grandparents, my alchemy friends, and siblings. Welcome to Alchemy Kids Theatre's annual solo performance, Day 5, Group 6. In the past 5 groups, we had more than 100 lovely performances, and we have many more to come. We have 30 performances today, and I am your first anchor for the day, Sahana Rajesh Balaji. Our first performer for the day is Vaishya from grade 2 senior Adaya, performing the monologue Snow White, A Place to Hide. Let us see if she finds a place to hide. Hi all, I am Vaishali and today I am going to perform a monologue called Place to Hide from Snow White. Um, could you all stop staring at me please? It's a little creepy. Look, I didn't mean to trespass. I was just trying to get some rest. I was so tired last night. You see, my evil stepmother sent out a huntsman to try to kill me. What would you do if you were trying to escape with your life? I don't have a choice. I ran, and this was the first house I found. Honestly, this wasn't what I was expecting. Everything is so tiny. Little chairs, little beds, little tables. But I don't care. I just need somewhere to hide. My evil stepmother hates me because every time she talks to the stupid mirror, which always tells her that I'm the fairest on the land and goes on and on about my fair skin that is white like snow and blah 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 blah. So I guess she figured if I was dead, she would be the fairest and prettiest of them all. That is why I'm here. I don't even want to be the fairest of them all. I was so tired last night that I fell asleep in these beds. Maybe we can come up with a compromise. How about this? If you guys don't tell anyone that I'm here, I will make meals for you, clean your cottage, mend your clothes, and take care of you when you are sick. And this will be a little secret. Thank you. Wow, Vaishnavi, that was an amazing performance. And yes, she did find a place to hide. Now we have Mahanya M from grade 1 senior Adayar performing a monologue, Crow and the Snake. Justice from the Sky from the Panchatantra tales. Hello everyone, I'm Mahanya and today I'm going to perform a story called The Crow and the Snake. Justice from the Sky. They say crows are clever, cunning, and watchful, and the survivors of every storm. But even the clever can be wounded, and I was wounded deeply. In a tall tree near the palace garden, my mate and I built a nest. Strong branches, warm sunlight, perfect for raising our chicks. But beneath the tree lives a snake, a wicked serpent with cold eyes and a colder heart. The first time it climbed, we were away. We returned to silence, empty nests, broken shells, feathers scattered like tears. I screamed to the sky in grief. My mate wept beside me. The snake slept below, belly full of what would have been our future. We vowed it would not happen again. But snakes do not understand vows. The next season it struck once more, and again our children were lost. Despite my wings, heavier than any storm cloud, but rage sharpens mine like spear. I said to my mate, if the snake only understands hunger, then let hunger be the trap. Then together we flew to the palace courtyard. There the queen's necklace lay on a golden ball, jewels flashing like the morning sun. I swooped down, bold as destiny, snatched the necklace with my beak, and soared away with the queen's guard shouting behind me. They chased me, of course. What human could ignore a crow carrying priceless jewels? I, I flew straight to the snake's hole, hovering about, wings burning. I dropped the necklace at the entrance and vanished into the leaves. The gods arrived moments later. They saw the jewels, they saw the snake, and believing it was the thief, they ended its reign of terror. With silence, returned to the forest. I perched above my nest, finally safe, finally ours. Something felt like peace. Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it flies on black wings, silent, clever, and determined, like a crow watching over the world. It refuses to surrender. Thank you. Wow, Mahanya, amazing performance. You showed a wonderful moral to everyone. Now we have the little Red Riding Hood who is going to meet the wolf. That is scary, isn't it? Our next performer is Siralia from Grade 3 Junior, Ananagar, here to perform Little Red Riding Hood meets the wolf. Hello everybody, my name is Seralia and I am going to perform a monologue named Red Riding Hood Meets the Wolf. Oh, what a strange forest today. Birds are so quiet and the wind, it whispers in a way I don't like. Wait, what was that? A rustle? A shadow? Oh, hello there, Mr. Wood. You seem very large and very hungry looking. I'm just on my way to Grandma's house. I have some I have some cake and a little pot of butter. I wouldn't want to take the long path. I won't want to trouble you. But you're awfully big and your teeth are awfully sharp and your eyes, they seem to follow me everywhere. Well, I'm not afraid of you. I have my basket, my wits, and my heart is brave. And I will reach Grandma's house. No tricks at all. So, Miss Wolf, you can try to scam me, but I'll be clever, I'll be quick, and I'll finish my journey safely. Just you wait and see. Thank you. That was a beautiful performance, Rania, and that did seem scary. Our fourth performer for the day is Vedant Arjun from Grade 2 Junior, Ananagar, performing the story King Eucalyptus and the Magic Well. The stage is all yours, Vedant. My name is Vedant Arjun. Good morning, everybody. My name is Vedant Arjun from Ananagar, Grade 2 Junior. Today I am going to perform King Eucalyptus and the Magic Well. Look closely at this water. It is not ordinary. This well once belonged to the garden fairies, and though they were driven out long ago by the dust fairies, their gift remains. This water comes from the fruitful river, a stream deep underground that will never run dry. Think of that, an endless, generous flow. No matter how much we take for our crops, no matter how much thirsty we are, the river keeps giving. This means this well is a treasure, but also a test. We must remember the garden fairies who are now scattered amongst every tribe. We honor them by being as generous with our spirit as this well is with its waters. They taught us that sharing and kindness are the only ways to keep magic alive. If we become selfish, the wisdom of this well will be lost. We must treat this endless gift with respect because it is more than just water. It is the history of this land. So remember the fruitful river. Be grateful for the fairies and use this endless gift only for good. Thank you.
That, that was an original story. I'm hearing it for the first time. Well done, Vedant. Next, we have a story about a ferocious animal and the king of the jungle. Everybody knows him now. We have S.R. Kautilya from Grade 3 Junior Ananagar performing the story The Lion's Whiskers, a traditional Ethiopian folk tale. Welcome, Kautilya.
Hello everyone, my name is Colette and I am going to say a story called The Lion's Whisker. Once there was a woman and her son living under the same roof, yet living like strangers. Every word between them turned into an argument. The house was full, but the warmth was missing. Broken heart, unsure what to do. The woman went to the healer for help. The healer listened quietly and said, "Bring me the lion's whisker." The woman was stunned. The healer spoke as if asking for water or firewood. With nothing else left to try, the woman agreed. That very night, she went into the forest and placed a piece of meat on a rock far from the lion. She ran as soon as she heard his breath. The night after that, she stayed a little closer. The night after that, closer still. Days turned into weeks. One quiet night, she knelt beside the lion. His breath warmed her hands, and slowly she reached forward and plucked a, a single whisker. She returned to the healer, who smiled and handed over the whisker and saying, "You already have the answer." The woman went home and used the same patience with the boy. Slowly, words became kinder, trust grew, and so the whisker was placed above the doorway as a reminder, saying, "A lion can be reached with patience, but so can a human heart." Thank you.
That was a good moral story about courage and compassion, and you performed it excellently. We have now the White Rabbit coming straight from Alice in Wonderland. And to perform this monologue, we have Anjana Balakrishnan from Grade 2 Senior Adayar. Hop on, Anjana. The stage is all yours.
Hi, I'm Anjana and I'll be performing the White Rabbit's monologue from Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Good heavens! Must the universe conspire against me at every moment? It appears as if no matter how diligently I attempt to maintain order in my schedule, chaos insists on inserting itself like it owns the place. My pocket watch, an item upon which I rely with the devotion of a scholar to their books, has once again chosen to malfunction at the worst possible moment. Truly, it's as if time is trolling me. I assure you, being late is not merely a minor inconvenience in Wonderland. No, here lateness is treated as a moral fail, a personal affront, a high level crime worthy of dramatic consequences. And when the queen is involved, well, let's just say she does not handle disappointment with grace. Her Majesty's idea of patience is theoretical, hypothetical, and practically imaginary. And yet, despite the weight of all these expectations, I find myself saddled with an additional responsibility, guiding an unexpected visitor. A young girl who simply materialized into a realm without the slightest regard for protocol. One moment, just for one moment, my day was a carefully organized agenda. The next, a human child descended upon me like some unscheduled update that breaks the entire system. She asks questions. Oh, so many questions. She wanders. She wanders. She touches things. She consumes mysterious snacks with the courage of someone who has never been warned about the enchanted side effects. And yet, by some unspoken social contract, I become her unofficial chaperone. Me, a creature barely able to maintain my own affairs. Do you know the burden of being perceived as the one who always knows what's going on? The tragic irony is that I rarely comprehend to anything at all. Wonderland shifts endlessly. Doors appear where walls once stood, and creatures change personalities mid conversation, and logic takes vacation without notice. And yet, everyone turns to me with this look of expectation as though I possess some secret wisdom. I assure you, I do not. Still, I must persist. For if I do not run, I shall fall behind. And if I fall behind, let's not imagine the queen's reaction. Therefore, I shall continue onward with determination and dignity and a mild internal panic that has become my constant companion. Now, if you'll excuse me, I am once again irredeemably, spectacularly, and catastrophically late. Adios. Thank you.
What a hippie hobby performance, Anjana. Now we have the White Witch coming all the way from Narnia. And to perform as the White Witch, we have Lakshya M from Grade 3 Senior Adayar. Come cool this place with your witch magic, Lakshya.
Hello everyone, my name is Lakshya and today I'm going to be performing the White Witch's Monologue from Narnia. Look at it, my beautiful Narnia, frozen, glittering, still, every tree wearing a crown of ice and every stream locked in silence. It is perfect. always winter and never Christmas. That is how I like it. No joy, no laughter, no foolish songs about hope. Only snow and my room. But now I hear whispers, whispers of a lion. They say Aslan is on the move. They say spring is coming. Spring in my kingdom? Never. I will turn every traitor into stone before a single flower dares to bloom. And that little human child, Edmund, is it? Ah, such a clever boy, so easily tempted by Turkish delight and promises of power. He will help me, whether he knows it or not. For I am the queen of Narnia, not Aslan, not those meddling children. Me. Let them come. Let them march through the snow. My winter will never end, and my throne will never melt. Thank you.
Let's give a round of applause for Laksha's performance. Vedashri Bhargav from grade 2 senior Adayar is here to perform the story of Gajendra Moksha from the Hindu mythology. The stage is all yours, Veda.
Hi, I am Vedashri Bhargav. I am going to perform the story called Gajendra Moksha. Once upon a time, there lived a great king named Indradyumna, a staunch devotee of Lord Vishnu. Due to his intense meditation, he ignored Setagatsya, who caused him to be reborn as a husband. He was born as Gajendra, the king of elephants, in a beautiful forest called Trikuta, and continued his devotion and prayers to the Lord. In the same forest, a Gandharva named Kuhu was cursed by another search to become a crocodile due to his arrogance and misbehavior. One day, Gajendra saw a large lake with beautiful lotuses and decided to pluck them as an offering to his Lord Vishnu. As he stepped into the water, the crocodile who caught his leg. A fierce struggle ensued for thousands of years, with Gajendra trying to escape. When all efforts failed, Gajendra realized that no worldly power could save him. In complete surrender, he lifted his tongue and prayed to the Lord Vishnu. Hearing the heartfelt call of his devotee, Lord Vishnu immediately mounted Garuda and arrived at the lake. With the Sudarshan Chakra, he swiftly cut off the crocodile's head, thus ending the curse of the Gandharva and liberating both souls. Gajendra, deeply touched and grateful, was blessed with moksha and regained his divine form. Thank you.
It was a beautiful story and you performed it beautifully. Now comes Lucy Pevensey from the story The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, simply known as Narnia. And we have Netra Rajesh Balaji from Grade 3 Senior Ananagar ready to take the stage as Lucy. Over to you, Netra.
Hello everyone, my name is Netra. Today
Pevensy's monologue. Hello, my name is Lucy Pevensy. I may be the youngest, but I promise you, I see things clearly. It all started with a wardrobe. Everyone else saw coats and mothballs, but I felt something different. Cold air, crunching snow, and I suddenly was in Narnia. At first, I was scared. Then I met Mr. Thomas. He was kind and gentle, even though he was afraid. That was when I realized Narnia was after a terrible spell. The White Witch made it winter forever, but never Christmas. Can you imagine that? Cold forever and no joy? When I came back and told my brothers and sisters, they laughed and said I was pretending. That hurt more than the witch's cold ever could. I didn't want to be special, but I wanted them to believe me. But Narnia was real. And when they finally saw it, I didn't say, I told you so. I was just glad they were there. Aslan. When I first heard his name, I felt brave and afraid at the same time. He wasn't safe, but he was good. He taught me that courage isn't about being fearless. It's about doing what's right, even when you're afraid. So I carried a small bottle of healing cordial into battle. I couldn't fight like Peter or ride like Susan, but I could help. And sometimes helping is the bravest thing of all. I saw Aslan give his life for Edmund. I saw darkness think it had won. But love is stronger than magic, older and deeper. In the end, I learned being small doesn't mean being weak. Being kind doesn't mean being foolish. And believing, especially when no one else does, can change everything. I am Lucy Pevensy, Queen Lucy the Valiant, and I will always believe in Narnia. Thank you.
That was a brilliant performance. You showed how brave and courageous Lucy was. Next, we have Karthik Adarsh from Grade 1 Senior Ananagar performing the story The Golden Fish of the North Sea, written by Alexander Pushkin, a Russian poet. The stage is all yours, Karthik.
Hello everyone, I'm Karthik, and today I'm going to perform the story The Golden Fish of the North Sea. On the edge of the cold North Sea lived a poor fisherman and his wife. Their heart was old and their pots were cracked. And every day, the fisherman hoped the sea might finally be kind to them. One morning, his net felt unusually heavy. He pulled with all his strength and discovered a golden glowing fish. Please, said the fish, let me go. I'll grant you a wish in return. The fisherman gently and good replied, no wish, just swim free, and he released it. But when his wife heard the story, she exclaimed, you fool, ask for something, anything. To please her, he returned, and the fish granted her wish for a new cottage. But soon she wanted more. A mansion, she demanded. A wave rose, and a mansion appeared. A palace, she shouted. More waves. A palace rose from the sea. But you still not satisfied. She shouted, I want to be queen. The fish granted it, though its golden glow dimmed. Finally, she shouted, I want to rule the sea. The fish must obey me. Lightning cracked, waves roared, and the sky turned black. The fisherman ran to the shore as waves swallowed the queen's palace. He called out for a golden fish, but there was no answer. He returned home to find the palace gone, cottage gone. Only their old broken hut stood as before. At the doorway sat his wife, humbled and silent. He placed his hand on her shoulder and said, "Perhaps we can begin again with gratitude." And though the golden fish never returned, the two lived more wisely than ever, never forgetting a day the sea taught them the cost of grief. Thank you. Well done, Karthik. Excellent performance. That was a good model. Our 11th performer for the day is Dia Aditya Kathod from Grade 1 Senior Adayar, performing the story about Arjuna from the great epic Mahabharata. Arjuna's concentration. Over to you, Dia.
Hello everybody, my name is Dia. Today I'm going to perform Arjuna's concentration. One day, the Pandavas were having a class in Ashri with Guru Dronacharya. Guru Dronacharya fixed a wooden bird to a tree and asked each Pandava brother to shoot the eye of the bird. But before they shot the arrow, Dronacharya speech of them about what they saw. Each Pandava brother said they could see the sky, the tree, and the leaves. Dronacharya was surprised and then gave them approval to shoot the bird. Eventually, it was Arjuna's turn. When Dronacharya asked him what he could see, Arjuna replied that he could see nothing but the eye of the bird, which he had to shoot. Dronacharya was impressed by his reply and asked Arjuna to shoot the arrow, which went straight to the wooden bird. Moral of the story is concentration and complete focus are the key to success. Thank you.
Sorry, everyone. She was from Grade 1 Junior, and that was a great performance, Dia. Thank you all. I hand over to the next anchor, Shravan, for the next set of performances.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Sana, for hosting us so far. Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all the parents, teachers, and our lovely children. My name is Shravan, and I'll be your anchor for a segment. Today is not just about performances. It is about stories, characters, and having fun on stage. All of us here are part of the same team, and today we get to watch our friends become different characters for a few minutes. So let's cheer loudly, enjoy every act, and make this a memorable day. To start our event, next we have a character from a story we all know. But today, the wolf is not in a book. He's right here on stage. Let's welcome our friend Keshav Ugandeshwaran from Grade 2 Senior Adiyar as he performs the Big Bad Wolf. Over to you, Keshav. Good evening, everyone. My name is Keshav, and today I'm going to perform a monologue called The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. Everyone thinks they know the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do, but let me let you know a little secret. No one knows the real this story because no one has ever heard my side of the story. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing started, but it's all wrong. I think it's just because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute animals, bunnies, sheep, and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were vegan that too. But like I was saying, this whole big bad wolf thing is wrong. I'm not bad. I just misunderstood, and I'm a little allergic to pigs. The true story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. That day, I was baking a cake, a nice cake, a birthday cake for my dear old granny, and I had a severe cold. And then I realized I was missing sugar. So like any polite neighbor, I went to borrow some. So I knocked on the first pig's house. No answer. I knocked again. No answer. So I sniffed and sneezed. Achoo! And the house came down. Now tell me, if a house comes down because of someone sneezes, is that a house or a pile of grass pretending to be one? The pig was already gone, so I did what any wolf would do. I cleaned up the place. Waste not, want not. So I went to the second pig's house. I knocked on the door. No answer. So I huffed and puffed and sneezed. Achoo! House came down. At this point, I knew this was not my lucky day. So I went to the third pig's house. Bricks! Finally! A pig who paid attention in building class. He must have been the brains of the family. So I knocked on the door, and you know what he said? Ha ha, wolf, you can't get me. That hurt my feelings. I tried to huff, I tried to puff, but I almost fainted. And then the police show up. Next day, I'm in the newspaper. Yeah, they jazzed up the story with all that huff and puff and made me the big bad wolf. Big bad wolf destroys 3 houses. No mention of bad construction, no mention of rude pigs, no mention of my cold. So remember, there are 2 sides to every story. Sometimes the wolf is not bad, he's just sick trying to make a cake. Thank you. Well done, Keshav. That was a confident performance with lovely expressions. You did a great job. Next, we have a performance that asks a fun question. What if a cow could talk? Get ready to hear an unusual story as Sahana Balaji from Level O is going to perform her own monologue titled Monologue of a Car. The stage is yours, Sahana.
Hello everyone, my name is Sahana and today I'm going to perform the monologue of a car. Hello everyone, honk honk, here I come. So today I would like to talk about my experiences. By the way, I'm your car. So my day starts from early morning schools to various class drops and pickups and late night drives. I'm always ready to take you around. But something happens. When you come inside me, snacks appear, chips crumbles, juice and water spills. So the new me has colorful stains all over. And when kids enter, kids being kids, jump around, front and back, on their knees, and sometimes on the floor. But hey, I'm your car, not your playground. And yeah, if it's raining, I have muddy shoes and wet umbrellas. I want to talk about my steering wheel, the most important part of me. It helps you guide me safely on the road. But some people twist it too hard or press it suddenly, and some people rest their hands on it while chatting. And when traffic is slow, they keep hitting the horn continuously. My steering wheel is for safely guiding you around, not for keeping your hands while chatting. And driving styles, they confuse me. Some drivers drive so slow that pedestrians and even bicycle passes us, and some drive so fast that I feel like I'm in a race. Yeah, I can run faster than Usain Bolt on the road, not on the track. Before you say anything, and people don't wear my seat belts, scratch my bodies, look back while driving, and blame me when I don't start. When the real problem is an empty fuel tank. I treat you as my everyday companion, but you give me away when I get old. Thank you.
Very creative, Sahana. Your performance was fun and lively to watch. Keep it up. Our next act shows that drama is not only about words, through expressions and movement. This performance tells the story in a different way. Let's give a big hand to Ashika Venkatesh from Level O Annanagar. As she presents Hamara Bharat. The stage is yours, Ashika.
Hello everyone. My name is Ashika Venkatesh and today I am going to perform the monologue Hamara Bharat Incredible India. This monologue was inspired from the play Drishti, a playwright by Vijay Vishwanathan, and I have developed it into my own way of creative thinking. And in this monologue, I will be performing the character as Vaishnavi, a patriotic teenage girl. What did you just say? Did, did you just say that you hate India? Only people who don't see the actual side of India say that they hate India. You never see the positive side, right? You always clearly see the negative side only. Always talking bad and judging India, passing on hate comments. You'll never stop, right? Well, for your kind information, let me tell you about some of the positive things. We were the first ones to send a satellite to Mars on a maiden attempt. The US spent $2.7 billion and two failed attempts just to achieve it, while we Indians achieved it by only spending $74 billion. We are the first in milk production. We are the second largest producer of wheat, followed by the second largest producer of rice. We are the global leaders in digital payments. We are the fifth largest economy with high growth rates. We have the largest democratic exercise with digital voting machines. We got polio free in 2014. That's 12 years back, while other countries are still fighting to overcome that problem. See, there are much more achievements than you think in India, but you ignore them completely and only focus on the negativities. But you will not dare to spit pan on the streets of Singapore, but you'll do the same thing when you step foot on Indian soil. You will say that the education system here is horrible, but when in reality, we found two of the most important universities in the world, Takshashila and Nalanda respectively. You will say that the government is inefficient. You will say that the laws are too old. You will say that the municipality does not pick up the garbage, and neither would you stop littering the place all over when the dustbin is standing right in front of you. You will say that the airlines are the worst, even if one airline does not serve you like a king or queen. We Indians ignore the positivities, and only focus on the negative part. And talk as if there are only positive things to talk about in other countries. I am still talking about you. You who could respect another country's culture, traditions, and laws, but not in your own. But you will say nicely that today's Independence Day, today's Republic Day, Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, but that love for India only exists for that one day. Then it vanishes the next day and you start disrespecting your country all over again. Learn to respect your own country. Then you can talk about others. Ask what you can do to restore India's lost glory and place it back on top of the world. Thank you.
That was graceful, Ashika. Your expressions were beautiful and very well done. Now, it's time for a story many of us have heard but told in a new way. Listen carefully as Dash Kemka from Grade 1 Senior Annanagar shares the story The White Little Hen. The stage is yours, Dash.
everyone. My name is Dashkepka and today I'm going to perform a story called The Wise Little Hen. In a lively village in Bengal lived a gentle hen was known for her kindness. She shared grains with hungry birds, comforted lost chicks, and even let tired animals rest at a warm coop. Everyone loved her, but not far away looked a cunning fox who watched the hen with his greedy eye. One day he growled, "I will catch that plump hen," he said. One afternoon, the fox cleverly pretended to limp and approached the hen's coop whining. "Oh, kind hen, please let me rest. I'm hurt. I promise I mean no harm." The hen felt suspicious, but her heart was gentle. "You may rest," she said, "but only around the corner." While the fox pretended to sleep, he secretly planned to pounce at the hen at night. But the hen was cleverer than he thought. Quietly, she sent messages to her friends, the goat, the dog, and the bull. By evening, they were ready. But when the fox ran towards the hen, he found the goat blocking the door with his strong horns. Behind him stood the growling softly. In front of him, a huge bull stomped its hooves, making the ground tremble. The fox froze. The hen stepped forward and said firmly, "Your trick has failed. Leave our village and never return." From that day onwards, the hen remained kind but also wise enough to protect herself with friends she could trust. Thank you.
Very nice, Thurs. You told the story clearly and confidently. Well done. Next, on stage, we meet a character full of wisdom and experience. Let's see how our friend Kushvika Ketpalia from Grade 1 Senior Adayar brings this character into life in The Wise Old Woman. Over to you, Kushvika.
My name is Pushpita and I'm going to perform a monologue, The Wise Old Woman. The Lord ordered all the elders above 60 to be taken to the mountains and left to die. "They are all burdens," he said. "The young will thrive without them." And so my son carried me up to the mountains, tears slipping down his brave face. I pretended not to see them. I dropped twigs behind us, marking the path so he could return safely. When he set me down and bowed his head, I touched his cheek. "Go and live," I said. "That's all the thanks I needed." But I did not die. Not yet the Lord ordered impossible tasks like a rope of ashes, a drum that sounds without striking, a love that bloomed in winter. Hearing all this, the young people panicked. And so my son came to me in secret. "Mother," he whispered, "what should we do?" I told him, not because I sought revenge, but wisdom is a gift, useless and buried. When the Lord had learned who had provided the answers, he trembled and asked us, "Why? Help me." "Because a village without elders is a tree without roots," I said. The Lord then realized his mistake and revoked his order. And so The mountain no longer holds letters, but it holds our memories. Thank you.
Excellent, Kushika. Your expressions were clear and your character came through beautifully. Big dreams, small dreams, and everything in between. Let's welcome Ruhan S. Raj from Level O Annanagar as he presents his own monologue titled Dreams. Over to you, Ruhan. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ruhan, and today I'm going to be performing the monologue Dreams. I are more than just things that happen to you while you're asleep. No way. I am like huge bursts of excitement that explode loudly in your heart and demand to be released. Once, a boy thought he knew all the answers to the exam, but then when he woke up, his mom was handing out the exam papers. People have been there, the storms that frighten everything away, and the exams you are too lazy to study for. Another example is when a boy was reading a Mahabharata at night. He slept off. I gave him a dream where a warrior was falling off from a cliff. He immediately woke up and started searching for the fallen warrior. He jumped over his mother just to search for the warrior. I laughed and gave him a dream where that warrior was safe. I am like your TV, but way, way better, as there's no limit to your imagination. Another example of how I'm extremely helpful is when a lazy boy didn't even want to start his project. But then I gave him a dream where the teacher was scolding him so much he started to cry because he didn't finish the project. He immediately woke up and started to finish the project in the last minute. I entertain your lives. If you have good thoughts and watch good things, you may have good dreams. But if you watch bad stuff and have bad thoughts, you will meet my greatest enemy, nightmares. With me, you will have the motivation to achieve anything you like or do. But without me and my friend goals, you won't have the motivation to achieve any of us. Life will feel dull and meaningless without me. Hard work feels good when you get up early, study late, practice repeatedly, since you know why you are doing it. Thank you. That was a lovely performance, Rohan. Very thoughtful and nicely presented. Now, my friend Anha will take over the stage to continue hosting the event. Thank you.
Thank you, Shravan, for hosting us so far. It was wonderful. I'm Anha, and I'll be your host for the rest of your evening. Now, on to our next performance. We all make mistakes, don't we? It's natural for all humans. Well, so did Pandora, the first mortal woman according to Greek mythology. She made a grave mistake. I would definitely love to elaborate, but I think my friend Anjan Rishi would like to do that himself. The stage is yours, Anjan.
Hello everyone, my name is Anjan. Today I'm going to perform Pandora's box. Pandora was given a very special gift from the gods, a beautiful heavy wooden box. When they gave her the box, the god said, Pandora, this box is very important. You can keep it, you can polish it, but you must never, ever open it. Pandora promised she wouldn't open it. She took the box out and kept it in her shelf. Every day Pandora would look at that box. She would shake it gently and wonder what could possibly be inside. Why is it such a big secret? Her curiosity grew bigger and bigger like a little monster inside her head. One afternoon, Pandora could not stand it anymore. She told herself, I just open the lid just a crack and close it fast. She untied the golden rope. Her hands were shaking. She grabbed the lid just a crack, pushed out from a dark, scary possibility. There were bad feelings like sadness, sickness, and worry. They quickly flew out of the world. They quickly flew and spread all over the world. Pandora cried, oh no, what have I done? She quickly slammed the lid. She was so scared, but wait. He heard a tiny sound coming from the box. Pandora carefully opened the box. This time, out came a beautiful, shining golden butterfly. This butterfly was hope. God put all the bad things in the box, but God also put one hope in the bottom. So when bad things happen, we have hope to feel better and keep trying. Thank you.
That was great, Anjan. Now, before we continue, how many of you have been told to just be patient? I know I have. This next performance by Tanya will show us real patience and quiet courage. Take it away, Tanya.
Hi everyone, my name is Tanya, and today I'm going to perform the monologue of a stepmother from the Ethiopian folktale, The Lion's Whisker. My stepson and I were strangers living in the same house. Every word we spoke became an argument. Every silence felt like a wall was growing thicker. So I sought help from a healer who told me to bring a lion's whisker. A lion? I almost laughed, but only she nodded, as if she was asking me for a for a river's water or firewood. So I went. The first night I stayed far away, leaving me on a rock. The lion sniffed it as I ran away. The second I stood closer. The third closer still. Weeks passed. The lion learned my scent, my voice, my fear softened into understanding. Finally, one night, I knelt beside the lion. His breath warmed my hands as I slowly, respectfully reached and plucked a single whisker. He didn't even roar, as if saying, "Courage, little human." So I brought the whisker back to the healer. She simply smiled, as if saying, "You don't need magic. Use the same patience with the boy." So I did. Slowly he came closer, spoke more gently, and trusted me. The whisker now lies in our doorway. Whisker now lies in our doorway. Even lions can be tamed, and so can hearts. Thank you.
That was fantastic, Sania. But now, can you imagine just feeling utterly confused? One day you wake up and you realize that you remember nothing. Nothing, not even your name. How difficult would that be? My friend Lakshita is going to tell us Alice's situation. Break a leg.
Hello everyone, my name is Lakshita, and today I'm going to perform an extract from Alice Adventures in Wonderland. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that everything around you feels strange. Today I'll take you into the mind of Alice, a curious little girl in Alice Adventures in Wonderland, as she tries to figure out who she is. Dear, dear, how where's everything today? And yesterday, things went just as usual. I wonder if I've been changed in the night. Let me think. Was I the same when I got up this morning? I almost think I can remember feeling a bit different. But if I'm not the same, the next question is, who in the world am I? Ah, that's the great puzzle. And she began thinking of all the children that she knew that were the same age as herself to see if he could have been changed for any of them. I'm sure I'm not Dada, for her hair goes in such long ringlets, and mine doesn't go in ringlets at all. And I'm sure it can't be Mabel, for I know all sorts of things, and she knows such a very little. Besides, she, and my, and oh dear, how puzzling it all is. I try to find all the things that I used to know. Let me see. 4 times 5 is 12, and 4 times 6 is 13, and 4 times 7 is, oh dear, I should never get to 20 at that rate. However, the multiplication table don't signify. Let's try geography. London is the capital of Paris, and Paris is the capital of Rome, and Rome, no, it's all wrong. I'm sure I must have been changed for Mabel. Let me try and say how daughter is it. And she crossed her hands and began repeating the words as if telling lessons. But the voice sounded hoarse and strange, and the words did not come in the same way as they used to do. How daughter did the crocodile improve shining tail and pour the waters of Nile on every golden scale? How cheerfully he seems to grin, how neatly he spreads his claws and welcomes little fish in with gentle smiling jaws. I'm sure those are not the right words, said poor Alice, her eyes filled with tears. Again, as she went on, I must be Mabel after all, and I shall have to go and live in that poky little house, and I'm next no toys to play with, and oh, there were so many lessons to learn. No, I have made up my mind about it. If I'm Mabel, I'll stay around here. It will be no use there putting their heads on saying, come up again here. I shall only look up and say, who am I then? Tell me at first. And if I like think that person, I'll come up. If not, I'll stay down here till somebody else. But oh dear, cried Alice with a sudden burst of tears. I do wish they had put their heads down. I'm so very tired of being all around here. Thank you.
That was outstanding, Lakshita. Most of us have dreamed of finding a shortcut to fortune, but as our next story proves, be careful what you wish for. From the field to the palace, our friend Samruth will tell us the full story. Show them what you've got.
Hi everyone, my name is Samruth of Grade 1 Senior. I am going to perform a story called Magic Pot. A poor farmer named Hari struggled to feed his family. One day while digging his field, he found a plain looking pot. As he tossed in the mango, while working, the pot stooped and outrolled 2 mangoes. Curious, he dropped in the coin. 2 coins came out. Hari realized that the pot had the power to double anything inside it. With care, he used it sparingly, doubling seeds during sowing season, doubling grains during shortages, and helping neighbors quietly. But greed travels faster than kindness. Asli villagers discovered the secret and sneaked into Hari's home. At night, he reached for the pot, tripped, and right fell into it. Suddenly, 2 pots appeared. Then 4, then 8, then 16 appeared. Within minutes, the yard overflowed with hundreds of pots. The thief panicked and buried himself pot. He could not escape. Hari emerged at dawn to find the chaos. He picked up the only pot whose lid fit. Greed, he said, always multiples trouble. He picked up the only pot whose lid fit perfectly. And thief was cleaning up a mountain of useless pots, and perhaps is free. Thank you.
That was great, Samruth. Now, when a husband finds himself in a bad spot, it's up to his wife to save the day. Here is The Clever Wife by Satmika. You've got this.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Atmika, and today I'm going to perform the monologue, The Clever Wife. My husband meant well, but meaning well doesn't mean choosing well. When we found a purse on the road, he insisted us to keep it. Heaven has rewarded us, he said. But silver never falls from the heaven. When the magistrate summoned us to the purse's owner complaint, my husband trembled like a leaf. I bowed calmly. The magistrate asked, "Is this your purse?" "No," I said truthfully. And I added, "The one we found was much heavier." The magistrate frowned. My husband nearly fainted, but I kept my face steady as moonlight. The ma- but, I, but I kept my face steady as moonlight. The magistrate repeated, "Much heavier." "Yes," I said. "This one cannot be the same. The owner must be lying." And in that moment, I saw his face shift from outrage to confusion to guilt, because liars forget the details of their lives. We walked away freely, and the purse returned to whoever truly lost it. My husband scolded me afterwards, saying that I frightened him half to death.
But I told you, a wise tongue protects better than a sharp knife. Sometimes the truth is a clever clothing. Thank you.
That was incredible, Satmika. But can you imagine being the same size as an ant or even smaller? And then one small glass shard turns life threatening. I can't imagine how Alice will get herself out of this one. I think Aishwarya would like to tell us. Give it your all, Aishwarya.
Hello everyone, I'm Ashwin. I'm a grade 2 senior. Today I'm going to perform a monologue called Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Oh dear, oh dear, dear, dear. This is the very strangest thing that ever happened to me in all my life. Why I am going smaller and smaller. I shall be like a telescope that is being shut up. If I don't stop this, I will simply vanish. Disappear like a puff of smoke, and no one will ever know where I went. It must be the consequence of being so terribly curious. Curiosity killed the cat. They always say, but in my case, it will simply reduce me to the size of a teacup. I wonder if I shall ever get out of this hallway again, and if I do, what size will I be then? Will I go back to my old size? Or will I size be the size of a mountain? I hope I shall remember all the things I know. Let me try. 4 times 5 is 12, and 4 times 6 is 13, and 4 times 7 is, oh dear, I shall never get 220 at the grade. The multiplication table is all wrong, and I thought I knew everything. Perhaps I haven't changed at all. Perhaps I'm someone else. I must try to remember if I was the same when I got up this morning, but I think I was different. If I am not Ada and I am not Mabel, then who in the world am I? It is a great puzzle. I will stay down here till I am somebody else. No, that's silly. I must be brave. I must be Alice. Even if Alice is currently only 3 inches high and talking to herself in a puddle of her own tears. The key is to find out who I am before I run out of patience. And goodness, my patience is wearing thin. Thank you.
That was incredible, Aishwarya. Now we dive into a tense encounter of a sailor on one of his journeys that he had undertaken with the greatest fictional sailor of all times, which is none other than Sinbad. When forced danger, will the human mind submit or arise? Let's find out with the help of Drutik. Make it yours.
Hello everyone, my name is Jyotik and today I am going to perform a monologue of the sailor from the story The Sailor Who Walked the Edge of the World. Do you want to know the truth about sailing with Sinbad? People whisper his name like he's a legend, half hero, asked Tom. But the truth is this, none of us meant to follow him. We were simply foolish enough to believe that the sea might spare us if we sailed beside a lucky man. Lucky, that's what they call him. I have never seen luck so much like trouble wearing a smile. I remember the day we left Basra. Morning sun spilling gold on the water. The smell of spice and salt twisting together. The ropes humming in the breeze like they had already knew the storm they had to visit. Simba stood in the boat, calm, confident, like the sea was an old friend he had come to me. I should have turned back right then. But when a man carries stories in his shadow, you follow without meaning to. We had barely reached open water when the world began to change. Birds vanished, clouds thickened, the sea grew quiet, too quiet. Any sailor knows that silence from the sea is not peace. It's a warning. And then we saw it. An island, small, dark, unwelcoming, but after days of rough sailing, a rock in the sea, it's like paradise. We anchored, built a fire, laughed like fools who had gotten away from something. Some of the men danced in the sand, some slept. Simba wandered studying the ground like it had secrets. And then the island moved. Snow rose up, up, higher, tearing itself from the sea in a roar. It wasn't an island at all. It was the back of a creature, older than storms, older than names of the winds, a great fish, a sea giant. Even now I don't know, but I remember its skin shuddering beneath us. I remember the waves rising like mountains. I remember the fire slipping into the water as we scrambled for our lives. Simba shouted, "To the boat!" And somehow we listened. Somehow the sea spared us, most of us. Roar in my sleep. People ask me why I sail after all I've seen, and I tell them this. The sea may be cruel, but it's honest. And because men like Simba, they were born to carry the world's stories in their wake, and some of us are born to chase them. Thank you.
That was great. Behind the walls of a gingerbread house lies a story of fear, hope, and a very thin chicken bone. Witness the strength of a brother's love in this act by Parv. Let's hear it for Parv, everyone.
Everyone, my name is Bert. Today I'm going to perform Hansel's monologue. Don't try, sir. Jesus, please don't try, Father. Don't was all alone in the forest. I know he didn't. He loves us too much. See, I'm a smart boy. I have broken up the crust of blood, and he gave us left a trail of white crumbs leading all the way back home. It was a perfect plan. Think how happy we when we find us all tucked up and snug in our bed tomorrow morning. He will never ever let us go outside again. Look, the moon is coming up from behind the clouds. It's shining like a great big lamp in the sky. Now we can easily find our way back home. See, see, they are breadcrumbs. They start from here and go along the path. Oh no, the trail has stopped. It just vanishes right here. Oh, of course, the little birds are awake too. They were hungry too. They must poop out and eaten them up. There's only a little tiny bit left over. I simply can't remember my way back home. Everything looks exactly same. Never mind, never mind. Father will come and find us very, very soon. Don't worry, Beetle. I will look after you. We are safe right here. But look how everything looks beautiful in the moonlight. It is a secret garden. And wait, oh, there I can see a little house. It's shining like a big beautiful cake. I wonder if someone is at home who could give us little bit of food and maybe a warm up. Let's go see. Thank you.
That was amazing. We've dealt with kings and sailors today, but now we have a mystery to solve. When food starts disappearing and the shadows start moving, who is the real culprit? Let's find out in the Banana Thief by Shilpa. Go make magic.
Hello everyone, my name is Shilpa and today I'm going to be performing the story The Banana Thief. In a quiet village along the Kerala backwaters lived Kurvamma, a kind old woman known for growing the sweetest bananas in all the land. People said her bananas were so soft and golden that even the sun waited to taste them. Every morning, Kurvamma would walk to a banana grove, humming happily, until one day she froze mid-step. "Hey!" she cried. "Half of my bananas are gone!" She checked the next morning, and the next day, until more bananas were missing. Kurvamma threw up her hands dramatic. "It must be a thief, or a ghost, or a ghostly banana-loving thief." The villagers offered some theories. "It's monkeys. It's children. It's spirits from the forest." But little Minu, Kurvamma's clever young neighbor, said, Mama, let me watch the banana tonight." So after sunset, Minu hid quietly behind the banana trees. Crickets chirped, fireflies glowed, and hours passed. But just when Minu began to doze off, she heard a soft thump, thump, thump. Under the moonlight stood a tall, majestic elephant. gentle, its skin wrinkled like old bark, its tusks gleaming faintly. It gently, it gently reached out with its trunk and plucked a bunch of bananas, so delicately that not a single leaf tore. But Mina noticed something else. The elephant was thin, its ribs showing, its eyes tired. So the next morning, Minu told Kuruvama, and at this, Kuruvama frowned. An elephant eating my bananas. But when Mina took her to the grove, Kuruvama's heart softened. Oh, you poor thing, she murmured. Instead of chasing it away, she put a small wooden platform and placed some ripe bananas on it. That night, the elephant returned, slowly, humbly, eating, touching the bananas with his trunk, almost like a blessing, before eating it quietly and heading back into the forest. From then onwards, the elephant visited every night. The villagers soon started to call the gentle visitor the night guest. Kuruma laughed. Amachi's bananas are famous, even among elephants. Thank you.
That was interesting, Shilpa. Next, we have Mridul coming to the shadows as a very unlikely alliance. When survival is on the line, even a cat and a mouse can play nice. But for how long? Let's give it up for Mridul.
Hi everyone, my name is Mridul and today I'm going to perform a monologue of mouse from The Mouse and the Cat, The Truth in the Dark. You may laugh now when everyone is here. I once chose to befriend a cat, natural enemy, whisper, nightmare, hunter of my kind. But the night in question was no ordinary night. Fear, but fear can turn foolishness into strategy and strategy into survival. I lived in an earth granary, warm with the smell of wheat, rich with crumbs, if you knew where to search. But one evening, while exploring a new corner, I heard it, a sound like trumpet of drum, scratch, scratch, growl. There he was, a great striped cat caught by the leg in a hunter's snare. His eyes glowed, but his body trembled. He was trapped, helpless, yet still deadly. I should have run. Every insect screamed at me. But then I thought, a trapped cat is safer than a free one. As long as he was stuck, I could run boldly. So I crept closer. He hissed, I squeaked, a fair exchange. Little mouse, he said, free me. Free him? Free the creature whose favorite snack is well me? Ridiculous. But then he added, if you save my life, I will spare yours. And though I don't miss his promises, especially those wrapped in fur, I also knew this, a cat in debt is less dangerous. So tap, he was free. And do you know what? He poured a cat bow into a mouse. Go, he said. The kindness has brought peace between us. From that day, he never hunted me. He hunted everyone else, but never me. People call me foolish. Bravery is not the absence of the right rest at the right moment. And sometimes the smallest creature in the granary can make a lion or a cat go hill. Thank you.
That was great, brother. Oof, it's turning cold here. Don't you feel so too? I think it's because of the next character who's setting up the stage for her performance. Without further delay, Let's invite the Snow Queen to deliver her monologue. Let's give it up for Nakshatra from Grade 1 Senior.
Good evening. I'm Nakshatra. I'm going to perform the Greta's monologue from the Snow Queen. My friend Kaya changed the day the magic mirror of the shark entered his heart. He became cold and unkind. And finally, the Snow Queen went to away to a palace of glittering eyes. Everyone told me the journey was impossible, but I wrapped my scarf tightly and set up because friendship is stronger than fear. I crossed the witch's garden where the flowers spoken riddles. I even sailed past the icy rivers that tried to pull me down. I even escaped a band of wild robbers that tried to keep me forever. Finally, I reached the Snow Queen's palace. Everything was silent, frozen, shining like diamonds. There on a block of ice sat Kaya, eyes empty, heart frozen. I ran to him and took his hand. Kaya, I whispered. My tears fell in his chest and melted a shard of ice inside him. He blinked confused at first. Then he remembered me. Greta. Together we walked home and hand in hand. And that's how I learned. Love, true love between friendship can even melt the coldest winter. Thank you.
That was interesting. We just saw a fictional queen. Now let's hear from a real queen as she delivers one of history's most motivational speeches. Let's call on the stage Riddhima Ranjit from Level O as she delivers the Tilbury speech by Queen Elizabeth I. The stage is yours, Riddhima.
Hello everyone, I'm Radhima from Youth Theatre and today I'll be performing the speech of Tilbury delivered by Queen Elizabeth I. My loving people, we have been persuaded by some that are careful of our safety to take heed how we proceed towards our multitudes for fear of treachery. But I assure you, I do not live to distrust my faithful and loving people. Let tyrants fear. I've always so behaved myself that, under God, I have placed my chiefest strength and safeguard in the noble hearts and goodwill of my subjects. And therefore, I am come amongst you at this time, not for my recreation or sport, but being resolved, in the midst and heat of battle, to lay down amongst you all, to die for my God, for my kingdom, for my blood, even in the dust. I know I might have the body of a weak and a feeble woman, but I had the stomach and the heart of a king, and a king of England that too. And to think, ye foul scorn, that Burma or Spain or any prince of Europe should dare invade the borders of my realm, by which rather any dishonor shall grow by me. I myself will take up arms. I myself will be your general, judge, and rewarder in every one of your virtues in the field. I know already. For your forwardness, you deserve rewards, and they shall be duly paid. In the meantime, my lieutenant general shall be in my stead, and by your concord in the camp and your valor in the field, we shall shortly have a famous victory over all these enemies of my God, of my country, and of my people. Thank you.
That was amazing, Ritima. The lights are dim, and my stomach is officially declaring the show over. Thank you for being such a wonderful audience. I'm sure our performers appreciate it. Please make sure to take all your belongings. Have a safe trip home and try to miss us at least a little bit until next time. So, until we meet again tomorrow, this is Anha signing off. In the meanwhile, if you have missed or would like to go back and watch any of our performances again, you can definitely watch them in our YouTube channel, Alchemy Kids Theatre. Thank you.